Kelly. Let's bring it over to the blue couches. We're going to welcome in our friend Bob Mazza, president, founder of Mazza Wines. Bob, it's your first time here on the blue couches with us.
Yes, it is. I'm really excited. Can't you tell?
Well, I'm used to talking with you on Wednesdays for Winey Wednesday. We've been talking about this midnight herring, but I hadn't realized that you hadn't actually been on this show yet, so we're glad to have you.
I'm happy to be here always.
The midnight herring, it's a limited edition Riesling, and it is so special because it aged underwater in a secret shipwreck for a year.
That's correct. It was on the John J. Boland Jr. shipwreck, which was basically a coal freighter. And the wine was actually submerged on June 1st of last year. And we retrieved it, we retrieved it this year, of course, but it was June 1st of the previous year. So it was underwater for approximately a year.
So what is the purpose of having it underwater? What's the advantage? What's it doing for a year?
It gives you a different characteristic in the wine because it is aged. It actually fermented prior to that. That's a secondary fermentation. It would have been possible to actually ferment it underwater because the temperature is around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and it would be very difficult to get a fermentation. So it was actually just aged there. And what happens is that constant cold temperature of about 40 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, and then the undulation of the current mixes the wine with the sediment, the yeast, that actually caused the secondary fermentation, and that's what gives the wine more character.
So interesting. Where did you come up with this idea?
Well, we didn't come up with it. It's actually done in other areas of the world, other wine-growing regions. My son heard about an instance in Western Australia where they did it, and then Chronicles of Lake Erie was held at the Hagen History Museum, and they talked a little bit about, you know, the midnight herring thing with David Frew, Dr. Frew, who wrote the book. So we said, boy, this could be an opportunity to kind of tie in what we do in the winemaking area with some of the historical aspects of Lake Erie, which is so rich in history.
So who do you partner with, and how did you find the spot where the wine was going to go down, the shipwreck?
Okay, well, we kind of left that up to John Pequodic. He's the captain of the Southwind and operates Southwind Charters. It's a 50-footer. And we have a good relationship with John because John is actually a full-time employee of Mazza. So we didn't have to go very far to search him out. Well. So we actually let him and his dive team basically speculate in terms of where the best placement would be for the first run.
And how many bottles were then sunk?
We did 151 bottles. Okay. Yeah, so it is very limited, and I don't know what the exact sales are to date, but we're getting pretty close to being sold out.
I'm sure.
It's in a very attractive package.
It's beautiful. But the spot was super secret because you didn't want anybody finding it, obviously.
Yeah, actually.
So let's fast forward. When did you make the dive, not you personally, but when was the dive made to retrieve it?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was probably late June, if I recall. I think it was June 25th. So again, a little bit more than a year to age in that cold, temperature, constant, and with the rolling action of the currents underneath there. We retrieved it, and we were very pleased that we didn't lose any bottles. Yeah. Because you would think sinking it down 130 feet, something's going to happen. Yeah. Actually, one of the airbags that they used to lower it down deflated unexpectedly, and the thing kind of went pretty quick, and it went about a foot into the sediment, and the bottom of the lake is pretty much muck. So it was halfway buried in that. Fortunately, no one got hurt, and we were able to retrieve it in a similar fashion by using a pillow bag, to basically raise the shell.
It's an amazing process, and it's packaged so beautifully. When you go to buy your bottle of this special midnight herring, this is how you get it, in this beautiful box, and there's a paper in there, and I'm assuming that it's explaining the process.
Yeah, it's a nice map and shows basically the location of the Boland Jr. And there's not quite hundreds, but just under 200 shipwrecks in Lake Erie, and we've already established the next the next round. So that was sunk about 5 weeks ago
Okay.
at a different shipwreck, which we're keeping secret, of course.
The same amount of bottles, or are you
No,
doing
actually
more?
double. We did about
Double.
300 bottles
Yes,
this time.
double it
so-
up, Bob. I love it. This is so beautiful, and there are still some bottles available. Where can folks find this?
This is available at South Shore Wine Company, our operation on Freeport Road or Route 89. That's our champagne house, as we call it, and that's where all our sparkling wines are available for
I just
sale.
think I've been following this story since you first kind of let me in on it, and I just think it's fascinating, and it's such a great thing that you're doing. And you kind of partnered, as you said, with Chronicles at PBS.
Well, we didn't
film it.
We didn't partner with them. Actually, it was Chris Mazza that did the video for us, 130 feet beneath the surface of Lake Erie, and we viewed that. We had a release party at Trek, Tom Ridge Environmental Center, on November 1st, and we had about 150 guests there that evening, and we showed that 8-minute video. Dr. Frew talked about the history of midnight herring, and we also had Ryan Cook, who's with the Pennsylvania Archaeological Shipwreck survey team. And one of the reasons why we partnered, and Ryan was actually one of the divers. We had 4 or 5 different divers, and we actually made a contribution to that organization under the Regional Science Consortium.
Yeah.
So we want to support that, you know, that whole issue of maintaining the shipwrecks and their integrity.
Yeah.
So important, and I think that could be a tremendous tourism
Absolutely.
benefit
So
to the
fascinating.
area.
Congratulations on pulling this off without a hitch. It's so interesting. You've got the next batch is submerged, so next summer we'll have a whole new batch to talk about and to help promote. But there's just a few bottles left. You want to get over to South Shore and get it. Bob, it's nice to see you today. Thanks for joining us.
Very good being with you.
Yeah,
Thank
have
you
a
very
happy
much.
Thanksgiving.
You as well.